solstice. Blessed Litha. Oh, we made it. It's been months since Yule, so I hope your Yule intentions are at their full peak right now and getting ready to harvest over the next couple of months. I'm still in Saratoga. I am in the screened-in porch at my parents' house. It is Father's Day, and I am very, very blessed to be here with my mother and my stepfather on this day as all the siblings call in and FaceTime to actually talk face-to-face with them. So I made a video on my Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short Facebook group, links in the description box as ever, and tried to convert it to get it over here onto YouTube, and it wasn't working. Network failure. I was like, whatever, I'll do it when I get home. So that'll be hitting at some point, probably Monday or Tuesday, but why not just give you guys your own version of it here and now. So, you know, I wrote this book, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, on Kindle, links in the description box. And it's organized by chakras, right? From the root chakra all the way up to the 8th chakra, because there are 8 chakras I work with, including the star center, the soul center, whatever you want to call it over the head. And there are 8 sabbats, 8 high holy days, the pagan whale of the year, right? The quarters and the cross quarters. This is one of the quarters, right? The southern point, the full moon of the sun, if you will. If you line up the solar and the lunar cycles, we're essentially at the full moon of the sun. So funny that it's on Father's Day, but also funny that it's the first day of Cancer, which is a cardinal water sign, the cardinal water sign. To me, the goddesses of, I'm wearing the totem today, Hestia, Hera, and Hecate, my virgin, my queen, and my crone. I have a couple of different threefold goddess pantheons that I work with. And, you know, so that's interesting, right? So we're looking at the 5th chakra, the throat chakra in my book, which is highly influenced by the work of Carolyn Mace, Anatomy of the Spirit, would be the first to say that, as well as Defy Gravity. Her work is amazing. The 2 graces of the throat chakra are the Grace of Counsel, that's the dominant grace, and the companion grace, the grace of protection, right? What you bind back, like boundaries and stuff, setting boundaries, speaking your boundaries, and all of that. But I think where we are on planet Earth more than ever, we need to be very, very truthful about what we are speaking, regardless of how anyone else takes it. You know, I'm reminded of that Matt Kahn healing mantra deck card, Unraveling Codependence. Only I have to feel good about my choices, and choices are willpower, throat chakra. Right, you with me? Spit, swallow, or chew. Do you spit it out? Do you swallow it? Do you chew on it? And, you know, each one is appropriate moment by moment. But as I've mentioned in other places, I've been doing the workbook of A Course in Miracles again. I did it many, many years ago. Finished 365 lessons in a year and a month, which is pretty amazing for me. And there's one that comes to mind that I did maybe a week ago. In my defenselessness, my safety lies, right? And what they're not talking about, you know, leave your doors open or hand your PIN numbers to total strangers. That. It's about how the ego always anticipates something. This is Matt Kahn, right? The ego is at war. It worries, it anticipates, and it regrets, but the soul is raw. It respects, acknowledges, and welcomes. So think of all the anticipations you go through. Oh, if that happens, I can do that, and I can do that, and that, and that. And even Eckhart Tolle says that, you know, we can overplan things that takes us right out of the present moment, so we don't always make, catch this, the wisest, most loving decisions, right? And sometimes, and it's just the way it is, sometimes in the divine plan of all of this, we have to deliver harsh truth to people for our own sense of honor and our own sense of authenticity, right? So there's nothing wrong with chewing on stuff, right? The 2 spheres of the Kabbalah that associate with the throat chakra are justice and mercy. And certainly truth without compassion is brutality. Thank you, His Holiness the Dalai Lama. I'm such an eclectic witch. I will draw truth, mystical or otherwise, wherever I can find it. But I've had to do that. As a matter of fact, I delivered some today to someone who was really shady with a business dealing with me, and I just laid it out on the line. I said, I've blocked you everywhere I can. You're not allowed in my life anymore, you know? And that's a boundary. And they were very upset by it. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have did what you did. Yeah. And that has set me free in a way, right? I spoke my truth. I did very clearly. And a boundary has been set. Now, of course, that person is trying to invade that boundary. So even that choice to respect others' boundaries is in there too. It's just really, really hard nowadays with so much illusion, so much untruth being spoken as truth, right? To not necessarily swallow every idea that comes by, and to really tune into your spirit, really go into prayer, which is, Words of Grace is essentially a book of prayer in my voice. One of my clients said, when I read it, it's like hearing your voice in my head. I'm like, yeah, it's my literary voice, but they also know my voice, so they hear it. So let's say a little prayer, Z, and my chords. I'm going to do this. If you're going to do it, take the time, do it right. You can do it, baby. Do it tonight, today. Please take a nice deep breath. Dearest God, Goddess, all that is, on this day of Litha, summer solstice, Father's Day, the full of the sun, I ask that you please bless us all who breathe, all who live, that we may be blessed with the grace of counsel and the grace of protection, the grace of counsel, that we may monitor our own self-speak and choose the words, the love that we can only give ourselves, allowing the ego and the personality to feel what it's feeling without editing, but without running the show. That we may instead come from the rawness of the soul, to respect what's rising up inside of us, to acknowledge the violations that are there, that seem very, very real in this world, and to welcome those parts of us that feel unsafe, that are trying to anticipate every possible move to avoid pain, so that we can understand that in our defenselessness, in our being in the present moment, in our vulnerability to the divine, that we are able to make loving, wise, empowered choices, even if people don't like them. That we are able to back ourselves up and speak up for ourselves in ways that move us along the path under grace and in perfect ways. Dearest God, Goddess, all that is, may every human being, man, woman, and child in all forms of life be blessed with the grace of counsel and the grace of protection, that we may all rise from the ashes of what was and begin again with honor, with truth, with love, with wisdom, with power, with justice, with mercy, and that we may give to others the truth that we have learned through the grace of counsel. And as well, may the grace of protection flow through us with every word, every breath, every heartbeat, that our loved ones are kept out of harm's way, and all of humanity is given all that it needs to be the best that it can be and fulfill its role in the divine plan consciously, deliberately, and in a very empowered way for our well-being and for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Blessed Litha, everybody. This journey I have taken in this life has not been easy. And I have been challenged to speak up for myself more so than most, I suppose. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Because when I get up into that 8th chakra, I see that it couldn't have happened any other way. Even all the players in this play that strut and fret their hour upon it, in my view, we can forgive it from that place. We can choose to forgive, not necessarily what they did, but to understand that they are learning, they are growing, they are healing, and we all get possessed by pain. And may these graces, counsel and protection, help us to truly choose to heal ourselves and give ourselves the love and the words we've always wanted to hear for our well-being and for the well-being of the world. Thank you. I'm driving home tomorrow, and I am back at, I tried to do a video last night for the full moon to new moon reads. They're going to be late, folks, but I'm going to get them out when I can. Hopefully a bunch of them before Thursday, which I think is the full moon in Capricorn. But until then, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of the summer solstice season, the 3 months until Lughnasadh, as well as the 6 months till Mabon. May we all be so blessed. I love you. Thank you. Have a great day. Blessed be. Bye.